In the shadow of legendary gunslingers, forgotten inventors and their creations played a pivotal role in shaping the American West. The arithmetic of 6 shots, 12 barrels, and 10 revolutions reveals a story not of violence, but of innovation that influenced gold rushes, frontier justice, and the darker aspects of history. Steel became the backbone of power, transforming ordinary ranchers into influential figures and lawmen into legendary icons, often where bravery alone was insufficient. These weapons were not just instruments of chaos, they were the unseen architects of the West's transformation. Samuel Colt ignited this revolution in 1836 with his groundbreaking patent for the first practical revolver, a firearm capable of unleashing multiple shots without reloading. The Colt Paterson, debuting as a sleek .28 caliber sidearm, introduced an innovative revolving cylinder system that redefined efficiency. It wasn't just a gun, it was a game changer. Lawmen like the Texas Rangers wielded these weapons during brutal conflicts with indigenous tribes in the 1840s, carving out territories with firepower as their pen. Colt's invention didn't just arm the West, it engineered it. His revolver became the shadow diplomat of manifest destiny, negotiating expansion with bullets and bloodshed. It was a weapon so transformative that settlers paid $500 for it in the West, while it sold for $25 back east. Colt's factory revolutionized American manufacturing, making firearms not just tools but symbols of industrial might and conquest. From Custer's last stand to Jesse James's infamous robberies, these iron diplomats shaped history far beyond their etched barrels. They weren't just instruments of violence. They were the unspoken rulers of an empire forged in steel and ambition. A notable advancement in safety was the introduction of a unique folding trigger mechanism. This lever remained entirely hidden within the frame until it was manually activated by cocking the hammer into the firing position. Although production halted in 1842 due to financial difficulties, the fundamental design principles of the Paterson significantly influenced the development of modern repeating firearms and solidified Colt's lasting impact on the history of weapon manufacturing. In 1848, the innovative gunsmith Christian Sharps created a precision rifle that became the dominant choice for buffalo hunting in North America during the peak of the species' population, which exceeded 30 million. Its .50 to .110 caliber models were capable of ethically taking down a charging bull from 900 yards away, utilizing specialized 34-inch octagonal barrels. At the height of its popularity, market hunters killed over 1.5 million bison each year, benefiting from the rifle's groundbreaking breech-loading mechanism and remarkable accuracy. In addition to civilian applications, modified versions of this rifle were adopted by 12 national militaries, including British colonial forces and Russian Cossack regiments. Frontier legend Martha Calamity Jane Cannery was said to have carried a nickel-plated version during her expeditions in Deadwood. Interestingly, military contracts from 1863 specified walnut stocks that included integrated brass coffee grinders for cavalry units, a multifunctional feature that was particularly appreciated during General Sheridan's winter campaigns against Confederate troops. The rifle's lethal efficiency played a significant role in both the near extinction of the buffalo and the displacement of Plains Indian cultures. Launched in 1851, Colt's first mass-market success was a 36 caliber percussion revolver that transformed personal firearms, with sales reaching 215,348 units by 1873. The cylinder featured 645 chambers, intricate roll engravings that commemorated the 1843 Battle of Campeche, where the Texas Navy successfully repelled Mexican forces, serving as a strategic marketing appeal to nationalist sentiments. This model became standard equipment for both Confederate General Robert E. Lee's field officers and iconic figures of the West, such as the gambler dentist John Doc Holliday, who is said to have modified his weapon for a hair-trigger action, were part of a storied era. This was particularly evident when gunslinger James Wild Bill Hickok met his demise while holding a hand of aces and eights at Deadwood Saloon No. 10 on August 2, 1876. Undertaker Charlie Middleton auctioned Hickok's ivory-handled Navy model for $75 to help cover the $300 cost of his burial plot at Mount Moriah Cemetery. Ironically, this firearm, which played a significant role in shaping the West, was designed with a sleek 2.9-pound profile inspired by nautical elements. Samuel Colt drew from ship's capstans when he created its innovative ratcheted cylinder mechanism. In 1860, visionary arms inventor Benjamin Tyler Henry transformed warfare with his namesake rifle, which utilized 44 caliber rimfire cartridges cycling through a groundbreaking brass frame receiver. The lever-action design enabled an extraordinary firing rate of 28 rounds per minute, thanks to its 15-shot tubular magazine, tripling the firepower of the muzzleloaders of the time. Over 14,000 of these rifles were deployed during the Civil War, notably arming Lincoln's Henry riflemen during Sherman's campaign. Ironically, the surviving models later equipped Lakota and Spanish warriors at the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876, where Sitting Bull's forces decisively defeated Custer's 7th Cavalry, which was armed with single-shot rifles. Henry's patents directly influenced Oliver Winchester's 1873 model, known as the gun that won the West, which enhanced the design with a loading gate in nickel-steel alloys. A surviving prototype from 1860, displayed at the Cody Firearms Museum, showcases Henry's innovative dual-spring magazine feeder, a mechanism that continues to be analyzed by ballistic engineers for its reliability under combat conditions. The catastrophic fire at Colt's Hartford factory in 1864, ignited by a coal forge explosion, devastated their London export facility, thereby creating an opportunity for Lifflet Remington to introduce an improved design. The Remington Model 1858, featuring a 44 caliber iron frame, became essential for the Union cavalry, with 127,000 units deployed, each equipped with 8-inch barrels and walnut grips. Three significant iterations of this model emerge. The 1861 Model 1 featured a hinge loading lever, while the 1865 Model 2 refined the frame design. The 1868 New Model Army was notable for its introduction of 46 rimfire metallic cartridge conversions. William Buffalo Bill Cody owned a revolver with the serial number 43258, which he carried during his Pony Express days and Wild West performances. He later presented it to Ned Frost, a ranch manager in Wyoming, inscribing it with the words, "This iron never jammed nor lied." At the 2018 Western Epics event hosted by Heritage Auctions, Cody's nickel-plated revolver sold for $239,000, excluding the buyer's premium, highlighting its significant frontier heritage. The design's influence continued through military contracts with the Russian Imperial Forces and during the Mexican Revolution, as well as in modern replicas that pay homage to its innovative triple-locking bolt mechanism. Breech-loading rifles, such as the Springfield Model 1866, transformed warfare by allowing shooters to fire 12 to 15 rounds per minute, 4 times the rate of traditional loaders, thanks to its 50 to 70 government-caliber trapdoor system. Over 52,000 units equipped regiments during the Reconstruction era in armed forces on the Argentine frontier. However, the 1866 model faced challenges, as its delicate extractor mechanism and small firing pin led to frequent misfires, as noted in Lieutenant Colum Custer's logs from the Black Hills expedition. Despite these issues, its design elements influenced the 1873 Buffalo rifle and the 1884 models used in the Spanish-American War. Cody earned his nickname during a contest in 1867 held by the Kansas Pacific Railroad, where he killed 4,280 bison in just 18 months using a modified version of the 1866 equipped with Hawken telescopic sights. Records from the armory indicate that Cody personally ordered 17,000 rounds for his record-setting hunts. Although the rifle suffered from component failures, its rapid-fire capability fundamentally changed infantry tactics and established the United States as a leader in arms innovation through World War I. Surviving models remain highly sought after by collectors due to their historical importance. 3. 40 or 100 caliber revolvers gained legendary status during her 17-year tenure with Buffalo Bill's Wild West, known for executing remarkable shots such as corkscrewing playing cards mid-air. The 6-shot wheel gun featured a break-top design that facilitated quick swaps of .45 S NW cartridges. a modification introduced by Major George Schofield to prevent cavalry riders from losing loose rounds at gallop. Over 8,000 Russian model variants with spurred triggers were utilized by Tsarist officers during the 1877 Russo-Turkish War, while Japanese imperial forces deployed 5,000 units in their campaign during the Satsuma Rebellion. S&W's factory records indicate special production runs for King Alfonso XII's Spanish Royal Guard, which included intricate Toledo steel engravings. Oakley's personal 1875 Shooting Star model, auctioned in 1926, reappeared at the Rock Island Auction Company in 2018, complete with AO monogram mother-of-pearl grips, showcasing its lasting craftsmanship. The U.S. Army adopted the 1873 Single-Action Army as its standard model. This iconic 45 long Colt revolver was utilized from the frontier regiments through the Indian Wars and the Spanish-American conflict. With a cowboy configuration featuring a 4.75-inch barrel and an artillery model with a 5.5-inch barrel, a total of 357,860 units were produced until 1941. Colt's announcement of discontinuation in 1901 led to a surge in purchases among Texas Rangers and Arizona Marshals, prompting continued limited production runs. General George S. Patton carried his ivory grip revolver, number 89,588, from the 1916 Pershing expedition against Pancho Villa to World War II press conferences, and it is now displayed at the General Patton Museum. Although the 1881 gunfight in Tombstone involved Earp using an 1869 .44 Smith & Western American, the myth of the 12-inch barreled buntline originated from fabrications in a 1931 biography by Stuart Lake. Modern ballistic tests have demonstrated that the 1873 revolver, with a muzzle velocity of 950 feet per second, could penetrate 3 stacked pine boards at a distance of 75 yards, which explains its dominance in Cattletown confrontations and its current recognition as America's most replicated historical firearm. Hollywood solidified its reputation as the gun that won the West through the Western films of John Ford, but it was Winchester's 1884 catalogs that first introduced this phrase to promote their remarkable .44 caliber rifle. With a muzzle velocity of 1,337 feet per second, this rifle could shoot 200-grain bullets through wagon wheels, making it well-suited for skirmishes on the frontier. By 1923, production had reached 720,609 units across 3 different models: 24-inch barrel rifles for settlers, 20-inch carbines for cavalry, and 16-inch express models for stagecoach guards. The legendary hunter Ben Lilly famously hunted and killed 600 bears in Louisiana, using an 1873 model equipped with a custom Vernier tank sight. A stagecoach prop used by Wayne, with the serial number 1601B, featured a 12-inch lever arc, specially forged by armorer Tommy Braze. This particular rifle fetched an impressive $195,500 at the Hollywood Legends auction in 2016. Beyond its cinematic fame, 43,000 units were utilized by Ottoman forces during the 1897 Greco-Turkish War, and Sitting Bull's warriors captured numerous rifles during raids in Montana. The reliable toggle link design inspired improvements in Browning's 1886 model, although the original 1773 rifles are still highly valued for their color case-hardened receivers and the patented King's loading gate cartridge system. In close combat situations, the 10-gauge side-by-side coach gun became the standard for transporting gold for Wells Fargo, with over 250,000 produced by Parker Brothers and L.C. Smith between 1865 and 1895. These scatterguns, weighing 7.5 pounds and featuring Damascus steel barrels and external hammers, fired black powder shells containing 1.25 ounces of Tau Monum-4 buckshot, proving devastating within a range of 30 yards. The 1878 Burgess folding model allowed for concealed carry beneath duster coats, making it a favorite among train robbers like the Sundance Kid. Historical records indicate that guards for the Overland Mail Company averaged 18 pellets per discharge, while defending against road agents targeting moving Concord stages, giving rise to the term riding shotgun, which gained popularity among motorists in the 1920s. Buffalo Bill's customized Parker Brothers shotgun, adorned with nickel engraving, sold for $176,000 in 2019, while the Montana Bannock Prison Museum showcases an 1880 Smith was utilized in 17 stagecoach ambush defenses. Although overshadowed by repeating rifles after the 1890s, contemporary cowboy action shooters continue to value genuine hammered doubles for their swift two-shot capability and authenticity reminiscent of the Old West. So who truly controlled the West? The answers remain embedded in these shadowy blueprints. Why did Patton's ivory Colt disappear for so many years? What secret lies within Annie Oakley's monogrammed Smith? Share your theories. Every blood-stained ledger and still smoldering receipt confirms one undeniable fact. Outlaws did not dominate the frontier. Rather, their firearms governed them.